Sandendave, Nanawana, Daivot Hinge, Huvia Edwards, Nananiha, Fort Hall, Idaho, Night. Good day to each and every one of you, my friends and family. Today I'm super excited to share this unboxing of this beautiful instrument that I received. This instrument was handcrafted by Paul Nelson, and I'm so excited to see this instrument because it is so unique from any other instruments that I've ever owned or played, and it is what they call a branch flute. And I've never had one, I've never tried one, but they are so unique in their own special way. And a part of the reason why I chose this particular instrument is because, you know, the Native American flute was used for a lot of different ways within our culture, within our different tribes. And we hear all kinds of stories and legends growing up from being a small child. And so one of the stories that was taught to me growing up was where the flute came from. And it was a story that I used to just love to hear my dad talk to me about and tell me about it, because I could just picture it in my mind. And it was basically made by the woodpecker. And I would love to tell you this story. I don't want to make this video too long for all of you, but one of these days I'll have to tell you the story and the creation of what I learned from how this instrument came to our people. And so, in looking back at remembering this story, and how the woodpecker sat on the branch and pecked out each hole, in my mind, this type of instrument, this type of branch flute, is something that I can picture happening. And so that's why I'm very excited to see what it looks like, hear what it sounds like. And I just wanted to share this experience with all of you. So let's get started and then we'll see how it plays. Again, this was handcrafted by Paul Nelson, and he is sending me this from Ohio. So as you can tell, it's in this box. And once again, I took the time to cut the tape off so you don't have to see me fumbling around with it. But take some of this paper out. Okay, I think I got everything. I've been meaning to do this opening of this instrument for quite some time. However, I have been extremely busy here at home with my family, with my son. So as many of you might know, I do have a son who's 8 years old. His name is Navikin. Navikin is the Shoshone word for twilight, or it's morning coming, I guess is how we would say it or translate it. So it is light enough to see, but the sun hasn't fully rose yet. So he keeps us very busy. We got him in a lot of extracurricular activities after school. So I have been having to run him to all of his engagements, so to say, because his dad, Pete, is out of town right now. So I've been having to run him around everywhere. So I want to start out with, I received a little note from him. And I'm going to share this note from Paul. It says, Dear Juvia, I hope you love your new flute. I'm sure I will. The branch came from a tree of heaven that grows off a trail near the great Miami River here in Ohio. The horn beam came from a forest near my home. Blessings, Paul Nelson. It came from a tree of heaven that grows off a trail near the great Miami River here in Ohio. That is really awesome. I don't know if you guys could picture that, but a tree of heaven, that's pretty awesome. And for those of you that are outdoorsy type of people, it grew off a trail. And like I was mentioning, it kind of reminds me of the legends that we're told from small kids, and that's kind of how the story I was taught about the creation of the flute was. It mentions a trail. I would love to tell you that story, and I will someday. It is kind of long, and I know we want to just jump right into this. So I'm super excited. So he put some wrap on it. So hopefully I can get this off pretty quickly. I'm not very good with tape. I get tangled up in it all the time. I might need to get me some scissors. So let me grab some scissors real fast. Okay, got me some scissors to get this tape off. It's very packaged well, we'll say that much. Which I do always appreciate, because you know me, I get super nervous when anything like this is shipped to me. And since I haven't been able to open it, I've had this instrument in this box for like a couple of weeks. And like I said, I just have not had time to do this revealing with all of you. So I'm very glad that I get to do that right now. Okay. Put that there. Wow. And here it is, everybody. Check that out. Isn't that pretty unique how curved it is? And you could just picture it on a tree like that. Just, you know how limbs are kind of curvy? That's what I thought when I first seen this. That is so cool. And it's even got this part. It's like an extra piece of the branch. I just think that's so awesome. I seen this instrument and how it looked, just caught my eye right off the get-go. It feels just like a branch, or you know, it is a branch flute, but I mean it has so much texture from the wood. It's just really unique. And it is inscribed on the top right here. You can't see it, but it's got his name. It says Paul Nelson. This is the key of A. And it was made March of 2025. And I just think it's so cool. So I really love the way that this feels and looks. It is in the key of A. I just think that is so neat. Besides the way that it feels, it's pretty light. It's pretty light wood. I would have thought it would have been a little heavier, but just because it looks like a branch, and so you would think it looks like it would be heavy, but it's actually not. It's really got this unique little block here on the top, kind of curves up. And I believe he said, it says, the horn beam came from my forest near my home. So this must be what came from by his house, which is really cool. And that's how a lot of, in the olden times, how flutes were crafted and made, is because they would use a lot of the natural elements that were around their homeland, around the place that they lived. And so that's where the different varieties of wood come from. Like I mentioned before in a couple of videos, my dad handcrafts his flutes from elderberry and dogwood because that's what grows up there where he's from in the Okanagan-Similkameen territories. So that's really cool. Okay, I'm going to play it for you. And I just want to thank you all for jumping on this video with me and sharing this awesome moment with me. I can totally see using this as a really awesome storytelling flute, especially to kids. You know, I do work a lot with kids also. And so telling them the legend of how the flute came to our people, this would be an awesome piece to show them, as well as other people. So I want to thank you, Paul, Mr. Paul Nelson. Thank you so much for allowing me to have such a beautiful gift, and I sure appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time for the awesome history of this flute. Again, Paul Nelson, everybody, he is with Slow Rise Music. So if you would like one of his branch flutes or any flutes that he crafts, he is on slowrisemusic.com, Paul Nelson, and he sent me his business card. He's out of Troy, Ohio. Paul Nelson, phone number 937-308-6644. And again, his website, Slow Rise Music, SLOWRISE music.com. And with that, thank you again. And I'll end this video with music on this beautiful A minor branch flute. Thank you.